She-Hulk is expected to premiere later this year, according to Disney+. The forthcoming series will premiere on August 17, 2022, according to an official blog post on the streaming platform's UK site, which highlights what is yet to come in terms of Marvel's small-screen offerings. The post was promptly removed, indicating that this was a mistake. Stay tuned to find out everything you need to know about the new upcoming MCU series. First up, Disney+ seemingly leaked the release date of She-Hulk. Here's what we know so far. With its Marvel series, Disney+ has had immense success. Since the introduction of WandaVision in early 2020, shows like Loki and Hawkeye have kept viewers entertained in between MCU major film release dates. Now, She-Hulk, another highly anticipated Marvel series, is set to debut later this year, but we were never given an exact release date. Until now, it appears that Disney+ has accidentally released the series' premiere date. The new Marvel series will apparently launch on August 17, 2022, according to an official blog post. The post includes sections on series like Falcon and the Winter Soldier, What If, and the upcoming Ms. Marvel as well. Since the disclosure, it appears that practically all references to She-Hulk have been removed in order to cover up this mistake. But since the premiere of this blog post, Disney+ has decided to share the official release date in question, and it will in fact be August the 17th. In addition, the series had an official synopsis before the site was changed to remove the premiere date. The synopsis read as follows: this new comedy series sees Bruce Banner help his cousin, Jennifer Walters, when she needs an emergency blood transfusion, and guess what? She receives his powers too. Tatiana Maslany will play Jennifer, who is a lawyer specializing in superhuman-oriented legal cases. Mark Ruffalo is back as the Hulk alongside Tim Roth, who plays the Abomination. This description fits Jennifer Walters' comic book origins perfectly, and Tatiana Maslany's portrayal of the character will be fascinating to watch. It will also be great to see Mark Ruffalo and Tim Roth reprising their roles. Despite a brief appearance in Shang-Chi last year, Roth hasn't had a substantial part in the MCU since 2008. Another interesting aspect about She-Hulk is that Jamila Jamil plays Titania, the villain. The series also stars Renee Elise Goldsberry, Josh Segarra, and Ginger Gonzaga. So far, only a few official photographs and snippets of footage from She-Hulk have been released. Given that the launch of She-Hulk is apparently only 3 months away, we can anticipate to see more information revealed as the date approaches. Now, the first teaser has been released and reveals the main characters we will see throughout the show. Marvel's first She-Hulk teaser features some new MCU characters as well as some old favorites. She-Hulk, Attorney at Law, will premiere in August with 9 episodes, and based on the teaser, it appears to be a hilarious yet grounded look at life in the MCU. Here are a few of the main characters you can expect to see. First and foremost, She-Hulk will be the main protagonist. In the teaser, we can see that Tatiana Maslany betrays Jennifer Walters, aka She-Hulk. A bit of backstory: Walters' life was changed by a terrible injury. She was a brilliant lawyer with a great desire to fight for justice, but later on, she was the victim of a failed assassination attempt in the comics. But based on the trailer, we're guessing her backstory is more related to that car crashing off the road. She happens to be Bruce Banner's cousin, and with the seriousness of her injury and the clock ticking, Banner had no choice but to perform her own blood transfusion. It was successful in keeping Walters alive, but it had a negative side effect, giving her the ability to become a green beast. Apart from being a lawyer in a strange legal system where half the population has vanished and people may be shape-shifting aliens, Walters also has to deal with being a single woman trying to live her life. Even if she's a giant green woman, she does not want to be seen as a superhero, even if she is involved in the occasional meta-human conflict. Furthermore, She-Hulk has been both an Avenger and a member of the Fantastic Four in the comics, so it's really only a matter of time before she accepts her true identity, and we see this shown in the new series. Next we have the Smart Hulk. Mark Ruffalo will reprise his role as the hybrid Hulk from Avengers Endgame. Yay! Because his arms are both normal, we're guessing the scenes with him are flashbacks from the blip. The She-Hulk transformation appears to be similar to that of the Hulk. Fear and wrath change the individual into a raging monster. Jennifer Walters appears to be following in Banner's footsteps. Walters was able to sprint because Banner walked, that's for sure. Abomination will also be in the new series. Not only does the Abomination return, but for the first time since 2008's Incredible Hulk, we get to see him in his true human form. Portrayed by actor Tim Roth, Abomination was claimed to be imprisoned by S.H.I.E.L.D. and confined in a separate compound in Siberia after losing to the Hulk on the streets of Harlem. Then he reappeared as an opponent and acquaintance of Wong, the Sorcerer Supreme, in Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings. His appearance merely added to the perplexity. Benedict Wong will also reportedly play Wong on the show, which will be very interesting to see how they weave this character into the mix. Next up we have Titania. Titania, a character first featured in the 1984 Secret Wars event, will be played by Jamila Jamil. Mary McFerrin had been a lifelong victim of bullying before meeting Dr. Doom. In exchange for power, Doom required soldiers for his fight against the superheroes, and McFerrin consented to be his pawn. Instead, she became Titania, and it wasn't long before she became one of She-Hulk's most formidable enemies. She-Hulk and Titania are briefly seen fighting in a courtroom in the teaser, though we won't know why. Titania's marriage to fellow professional supercriminal Absorbing Man is a key aspect of her legend, but we doubt that that element of the character will be featured on the show, given Crusher Creel had enough attention on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., including his supposed death. Last but certainly not least, we have Frogman. The fabulous Frogman, sometimes known as Eugene Patilio, first appeared in the Marvel Universe way back in 1982. Eugene became a vigilante to account for his father's sins as the unsuccessful villain Leapfrog. He became a regular Spider-Man ally, albeit he is most known for being successful due to chance rather than skill. He's a gigantic joke who manages to get by. Furthermore, he appears in the trailer in a blink and you miss it appearance. Frogman in the MCU is more of a funny Sentai hero than a teen in a bulky costume. It'll be intriguing to see what they have planned for him in the future and within this series. Now that we know a little more about some characters, here are a few things you need to know about She-Hulk. She-Hulk is terrific, and the prospect of her MCU debut is thrilling. For decades, audiences have seen Bruce Banner as the Hulk represented in cinema and in various Marvel-related media, so seeing another green-hued family member appear is a treat. Now, there are plenty of aspects about She-Hulk and her persona that many people will not be aware of from the comics. Let's dive in. First up, her ability to possess more stability. Control is a trait that She-Hulk possesses that Hulk has historically struggled with. The difference between the Hulk and Dr. Banner forms is night and day. For anyone who has seen both, She-Hulk is essentially a superhuman version of herself. In her Hulk form, she retains her inherent intellect and humor while also appearing to be much more confident. Another fantastic feature of She-Hulk that Hulk lacks is the capacity to transform forms at any time, which allows for a lot of flexibility in a crisis. Imagine Jennifer Walters coming upon a robbery in progress and not having to Hulk out to save the day. Secondly, she has frequent run-ins with her friends. Despite the fact that She-Hulk is often depicted as a heroine, she has occasionally been cast in a negative light. She-Hulk desecrates Vision with her bare hands after being manipulated by Scarlet Witch in Avengers 500. Immortal She-Hulk #1. Interestingly enough, delves into She-Hulk's darker aspects, allowing for a more ominous origin tale. Most comic book enthusiasts are aware that a single character can take on several identities. Incorporating a complex facet into She-Hulk's otherwise upstanding nature would be an intriguing twist. Could you picture Bruce Banner having to resort to drastic measures to counteract his cousin's bad tendencies? It would be very captivating to watch, that's for sure. And finally, there are multiple versions of She-Hulk. When She-Hulk is in her green form, she has a lot of control, but when she is in her gray form, things are a little different. Jennifer's appearance as Gray She-Hulk draws comparisons to Bruce Banner's Hulk form. Walters' intelligence plummets as she grows older, and she is a shell of her former self in terms of personality. Jennifer Walters has revealed that her She-Hulk persona has various facets that can be introduced, but there is also a She-Hulk that is beyond her control. Talking about the Red She-Hulk that appears. Elizabeth Betty Ross is most known to Hulk fans as his lifelong love interest, but she is also recognized as an evil She-Hulk version. And there you have it, everything you need to know about the upcoming She-Hulk MCU series, and the apparent leaked release date. Thanks for watching.